Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with my week 8 picks. Doing it with my new setup, doing it on my PC actually, so I can kind of look at more stuff, maybe get this out a little bit quicker for myself. So we're gonna hop into it. Last week we went 5-7 money line, 6-6 against the spread. Last week was a really weird week, if I'm being honest. Get some weird calls in some games and a lot of upsets, or not upsets, but I mean there were a lot of upsets. That is true. But I think a lot of games didn't go the way people thought they were going to. So we're gonna right the ship in week 8. That brings us to 65-33 money line, 59-37-4 against the spread on the season. So not too bad. Let's hop into with the new picks. First game we've got is the Eagles at the Commanders. The Eagles are 7-point favorites away, which is kind of crazy in an NFC East game that's divisional. Right now it looks like Bradley Roby's out for the Eagles, and no one of note for the Commanders right now. So we've got the Eagles coming off of a big win against the Dolphins, very emotional one. We've got the Commanders coming off a really tough loss against the Giants. They lost 14-7. So it's not great. It's a divisional game. I don't think the Commanders have been looking very good of late. I mean, you're looking at it, Sam Howell again did not have a good game last week, but Hurts didn't look great. He actually is a little banged up coming to this game in the Commanders. I think the Eagles are just the better team right now. The 7 points is where it's tough. I think the Eagles are going to win, but do I think the Commanders cover? I could see like a backdoor situation like we saw last night. I am recording this on Friday, so we saw that with the Bucks and the Bills last night. We had the Bucks kind of backdoor cover. Give me the Eagles to win, the Commanders covers. I think 7's a lot of points for a divisional game. It's a lower over-under, not the lowest of the week by far, but I like the Commanders to keep it close. Next game, we've got the Jags at the Steelers. The Jags are 1.5 point favorites. This line has already moved a lot this week. Looks like Zay Jones is out for the Jags, and no one too crazy. I know Freiermuth just got put on IR for the Steelers, but no big injuries after that. We've got the Jags are coming off. This would be their 5th straight win if they can beat the Steelers right here, and the Steelers coming off a big win against the Rams, and then a big one week before on the Ravens. So things are looking good right now for the Steelers. It was a weird game last week. They've only missed 2 games against the spread, and that was because they got shellacked by the Texans. The offense still, I don't think, is great. The defense has looked very good. You've got TJ Watt kind of playing superhero ball. Every time he steps out on the field. Kenny Pickett still hasn't looked great to me. I think this Jaguars defense is a little bit better than everybody thought it was going to be coming out. But to me, it's pretty simple. I am going to take the Steelers to win cover here. You got Tomlin as a home dog, and Tomlin as a home dog doesn't lose. So give me the Steelers to win and cover the 1.5. Kind of stinker of a game. We've got the Saints at the Colts. The Saints are 1-point favorites. I don't like this game at all. This seems like a very tough game to predict. You're gonna have to predict how Gardner Minshew plays and how Derek Carr is gonna play. Both these offenses are very just weird right now to kind of pick and see what they are gonna do. A lot of questionables for the Saints. Damari Davis. I mean, it's just kind of a laundry list of guys. Looks like their tackle Smith is going to be out. Julius Brents is out. Saints coming off 2 back-to-back losses, and the Colts again coming off 2 back-to-back losses. They've been very close in all of theirs. Colts are very feisty. The Saints are a really bad team covering so far this season. They've only covered once, and that was when they absolutely pumped the Pats. I don't know, man. This is kind of a weird one. I don't like either of these teams, if I'm 100% honest. You get the Colts at home. I think the defense for the Saints is what you're kind of banking on here. A lower over-under. It's basically a pick 'em. Derek Carr has not looked good, but Gardner Minshew is also trying to turn the ball over a lot. Both of them are bad under pressure. I think both these defenses I mean, it looks like the Colts defense is bad. I don't know, man. I'm going to trust the Saints defense. I hate this pick. Give me the Saints to win and cover. Texans at Panthers. And I already know what I'm going to pick here. The Texans are 3.5 point favorites. Robert Woods is going to be out for the Texans. Jonah Rankin's also going to be out for the Texans. I know the Panthers just had they switched play calling, I believe. So that'll be very interesting to see. You've got the Panthers who have yet to win a game this season. You've got the Texans coming off a pretty solid win, and then they had their bye. It's going to be stinky. It's going to be a plug your nose game. Give me the Panthers. I think they are due. Give me the Panthers to win a cover. I just think at some point one of these teams I think at some point the Panthers are just going to win a game. They're due. And I think this is a decent spot for them. The Texans, while they have been feisty, I could see the Panthers upsetting them here. So Panthers to win a cover here. Ooh, this is an interesting one. We've got the Rams at the Cowboys. Cowboys are 6.5 point favorites. This is a very weird game to me. Nobody really crazy for this game on the injury report. We've got the Rams coming off against that bad loss against the Steelers. That was kind of maybe not their fault. Bad spot might have lost them that game. Got the Cowboys coming off that big win against the Chargers, who might not be as good as we think they are. But I mean, I think the Rams are feisty, but I just don't think they're very good. I think the cracks are starting to show a little bit. I think the Cowboys can beat up on these bad teams. I think it's going to be an unpopular pick, and I don't particularly love it. I don't love a lot of these lines on spread here, honestly. But give me the Cowboys to win and cover the 6.5. I think they're good enough. I think this defense could probably exploit the Rams offensive line. I don't think that offensive line is very good. I think it's better than what people have thought it's going to be. Matt Stafford's also been playing crazy good ball. I think that Cowboys defense could give them trouble. We've got the Falcons at the Titans. The Falcons are 2.5-point favorites. I'm pretty sure the Titans are going to start Levis or Willis. I don't know if they've announced who they're actually going to start yet. I hope it's Levis. I think it's just going to be more interesting. I think we kind of know that Malik Willis is not going to work out, but I'd be very excited to see what Levis does here. Roger McCreary is also out. Josh Wiley's out at tight end for them. You've got the Falcons coming off a big win against the Buccaneers, big divisional matchup that they kind of needed to win. You got the Titans dropping 2 straight. They had their bye after their game in London against the Ravens. This is a weird spot, a really low over under. Part of me wants to lean Will Levis here, but since you just haven't seen much, I think the easy pick for me is to go the Falcons, which is probably what I'm going to do. It's just because it's the world of the unknown. You don't really know what's going to happen with Levis. So give me the Falcons to win a cover. Don't feel good about it, but you just have no basis to go off of with Will Levis. We've got the Jets at the Giants, a stinky fun game. The Jets are 3-point favorites. Over unders 35.5. That is nuts. Daniel Jones is out. It is going to be tired. I think they're probably better with Tyrod in as of right now. Jets coming off their bye. They had 2 big wins right before the bye. The Giants are coming off a big win for them as well with Tyrod Taylor at the helm. I think this Jets defense is going to give the Giants some real issues, especially with Sauce and Reed supposedly coming back. I like the Jets here to win and cover. I just don't know if Tyrod Taylor is ready to face a guy like Sauce and Reed. And I think Zach Wilson's been doing enough. He's been playing good enough ball where I don't think he's going to be the issue or the reason they do lose, and he hasn't been so far. So give me the Jets to win and cover. Huge spread time. We've got the Pats at the Dolphins. The Dolphins are 9.5-point favorites. That is a big spread, man. A lot of questionables for the Pats. Trent Brown, Josh Uche, Jonathan Jones, Mostert, Holiday are both questionable for the Dolphins. Pats are coming off a signature win for them against the Bills. I mean, the Dolphins are coming off that loss against the Eagles. I think the Dolphins are going to come out angry. I hate it because it's a big spread in a divisional matchup, but I am going to take the Dolphins to win a cover. I just don't think the Pats are kind of built for this. I think if anybody is going to stop them, I could see Bill Belichick giving them some trouble. But I'm going to ignore that and take the Dolphins to win and cover. Another game that I don't like the line at all. It's Vikings at Packers, -1.5 Vikings. They're coming off a highly emotional win where they needed to have it for their season. They got it, a huge win and an upset. Looks like Jair and Devondre Campbell are both questionable for the Packers. Those big injuries for me. I don't know, man. 2 back-to-back wins for the Vikings that they needed to have. They got it. Probably saved their season. Might not be sellers because of it. I mean, they're 3-2 on the season. They're kind of in the thick of it. To me, this just seems like the perfect letdown spot. I'm going to take the Packers to win a cover. I like what the Vikings have done. They haven't scored a rushing touchdown this season, which is crazy to me. And I don't know. I just think this is a prime letdown spot for them. Divisional game. Over-unders at 42, so it's decently high, I guess. I just think the Packers are able to pull off the upset and kind of play spoiler. They've lost 3 straight. I think they right the ship here. We've got the Browns at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites. This is just a weird, I mean, it's the Deshaun thing. The Deshaun thing, we're not gonna know what's happening. He's not playing good ball right now anyway, so I'm not really sure how much that matters. Defense is crazy good. I'm not sure if they really got exposed against the Colts. I think it might have just been one of those games where everything's kind of weird. And I think that's probably what it was, if we're being honest. Looks like Tyler Lockett's questionable. Jamal Adams is also questionable. Seahawks coming off a win against the Cardinals. Browns coming off that weird one. I mean, 2 big wins. I mean, pretty much they got the Niners and the Colts. I don't love them getting 3.5 here. I think they've kind of gotten lucky with the whole PJ Washington thing. So I'm going to take the Seahawks to win and cover here. I don't love it. I do think that Browns defense could be tough for Geno, but I think at some point the Walker thing is going to bite them in the ass. And I think it could come up against Seahawks. I think Seahawks have been playing really good defense. When you're looking at their last few games, Cardinals scored 10, 10. Bengals scored 17. Giants scored 3. I mean, they're keeping teams scoring low, and I could see that happening again with the Browns offense. A very fun one and an interesting one. Oh, the line moved a little bit from last time I saw it. We've got the Bengals at the 49ers. 49ers are 4.5-point favorites. Brock Purdy's going to be out. We are going to be seeing Sam Darnold starting off for the Niners. Looks like Chase Brown and King Davis-Gaither are out for the Bengals, and Deebo Samuel is out. Looks like Trent Williams is questionable, so that's going to be a big key to see what they do. 4.5 is a lot. Bengals coming off 2 big wins, kind of need it to save their season, and they're actually coming off against 2 losses, so I don't love that the Bengals are facing them after 2 straight losses. I think this is a decent get right spot for them. I think the Bengals are going to keep it close, though. I could see this game being a field goal. 43.5 is the over-under, so probably a middle-of-the-road one for this week. I'm going to pick the Bengals to cover and the 49ers to win. I think they're going to be able to do just enough. I think that defense is tough, could give the Bengals fits. The Bengals have not been a very good covering team, but I think Lou Anarumo could give Sam Darnold some trouble, so that's why I lean the Bengals to cover, but give me the 49ers to win. Ravens at the Cardinals, another big spread. Ravens are 9.5-point favorites right now. This one's pretty easy for me. I mean, Dafe Owe is questionable. Cardinals are bad. Ravens good. I could definitely see the Ravens covering this, being the Ravens, but I think they've been kind of not exposed, but I just don't think the Cardinals are very good. Ravens coming off a huge win against the Lions where they won 38-6 against a team that people think are a Super Bowl contender. Cardinals are coming off their 4th straight loss. I think you're kind of seeing the kinks in their armor, and I think the Ravens just outclass them. Give me the Ravens to win a cover. Very funny because I am going to switch up my tune here, but I saw a stat about home dogs of like 6.5 or more are undefeated on the season, and I think we have 3 or 4 this year who are over it. And right now we've got the Chiefs at the Broncos. Broncos are 7.5-point dogs. I'm gonna take the Chiefs to win, Broncos to cover. I think they're able to keep it close. That offense has been looking better little by little, and I'm just leaning into the home dog thing. Nick Bolton is out for the Chiefs. I'm pretty much just kind of buying into the stat. Chiefs have lost 1 game, that was week 1, so I could see them dropping one here soon. They play the Dolphins next week in Germany, which is going to be electric. So I could see this being a look ahead spot. I could see a backdoor cover situation with the Broncos. I feel like they've kept games decently close throughout the season. Haven't covered a lot, but I think this is a spot where they are. I'm giving the Chiefs to win, the Broncos to cover the 7.5. Another massive spread. We've got the Bears at the Chargers. This is one I don't even really want to look into at all. Chargers 8.5-point favorites at home. Justin Herbert's been playing so far this season. I don't even want to get into my Herbert takes. I just think he's a very good quarterback, but I think that is all he is right now. Fields is going to be out. They're playing Tyson Badgett again. Looks at Jared Everett, Joshua Palmer are both questionable. I assume they will go. Bears coming off a huge win against the Raiders. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Chargers offense quite that easy. So Chargers coming off 2 big losses too. I think this is a perfect get right spot for them. Give me them to winning cover against the Bears. In the final game, we've got the Raiders at the Lions. Lions are 7.5-point favorites at home on Monday Night Football. I think they're saying Jimmy G is going to be back. A lot of people questionable though. We got Jimmy G, Marcus Peters, Delon Diablo, and Max Crosby all questionable for the Raiders. For the Lions, looks like Dave Montgomery's still questionable. Frank Ragnow also questionable, but you got the Raiders got pooped on by the Bears last week, and so did the Lions. Lions got pooped on by the Ravens. I don't like the Raiders at all. I think that defense is bad. I don't love the offense. They're not force feeding it to Devontae Adams as much as my fantasy team would like, and I think that's how you're going to win games. Being that bad of a team, you got to force it to your star player, and they're just not really doing that much. So if I was going to bet anything in this game, I think I'd bet the under. Primetime unders have been very good so far this season, and I kind of like that. But in this situation, I think the Lions defense kind of gets back on track. They're not facing a mobile quarterback, so I think Jimmy G could definitely see some trouble against them. So give me the Lions to win a cover on Monday Night Football. And that is it, the Week 8 picks in the book. Let me know what you guys like. Let me know what you don't. Let me know what you're picking. Let's have a week. Let's win some money, baby. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, peace out and stay safe.